In this video, I'll tell you about the Rainbow Rule. There are 7 different rules in the Rainbow Rule that can improve someone's productivity and lead them towards success. So the first rule is, whenever you rise, that's the time to shine. The reason is, we all tend to delay our plans, thinking we'll do them later, and when the time comes to execute them, we realize that if we couldn't do it in so much time before, we won't be able to do it in the remaining little time either, and by thinking that we fail to fulfill those plans. That's why, whenever we rise, that's the time for us to shine. The second rule is, figure out what you have to do, and what you don't have to do, then do what you have to do first. The reason is, that often we have so much to do, that we can't decide what to prioritize, and sometimes we end up not doing anything at all. That's why, we have to figure out what we have to do, and what we don't have to do, then do what we have to do first. The third rule is, focus on that one thing that you're doing right now. The reason is, many times we don't stick to what we decide to do, instead, we try to do other tasks simultaneously. This often leads to none of our tasks being done properly. That's why, we have to focus on that one thing that we're doing right now. The fourth rule is, stop overthinking things, calm yourself. The reason is, when we encounter a problem, we often become anxious and engage in chaotic thoughts and actions that are not actually related to solving the problem at hand. That's why, we have to stop overthinking things and calm ourselves. The fifth rule is, learn from the mistakes, improve yourself. The reason is, we all make mistakes, but many of us don't acknowledge our own mistakes, and instead, we busy ourselves ridiculing others for their mistakes. In doing so, we fail to learn from either our own or others' mistakes. That's why, we have to learn from every mistakes and improve ourselves. The sixth rule is, always keep a good eye on your environment, be self-conscious. The reason is, nowadays we have become so careless and distracted, that we can't do any task properly, and others easily take advantage of us, causing us harm, and sometimes, unknowingly, we even risk losing our life. That's why, we have to keep a good eye on the environment, and be self-conscious. The seventh rule is, always have faith in yourself, and believe that you can do it. The reason is, nowadays we have become so low in self-esteem and self-confidence, that we don't even believe in ourselves, that we can do what we want to do, which leads us to be defeated, even before we try. That's why, we have to be faithful in ourselves and believe that we can do it. If you're on your self-improvement journey, then be sure to implement these 7 rules in your daily life, to become a wholesome man.